There is a very big difference between forcing reality to change and allowing it to unfold. Most people never learn that difference. They spend years trying to control outcomes, conversations, timing, and even other people's reactions. And they call it hard work or determination. But Abraham teaches that true manifestation does not require effort in that way. It requires tuning. The reason you feel tired when you push is not because you are weak. It is because you are acting from misalignment. You are trying to move something that was never meant to be moved through struggle. Manifestation was never supposed to be about managing circumstances. It is about managing vibration. The moment you shift the way you feel, you begin to shift the frequency you send out. And everything that matches that new signal starts moving toward you. That is why Abraham calls it effortless creation. It is not because nothing happens. It is because everything happens naturally when you stop fighting your own energy. When Abraham talks about the vortex, they are not describing a place somewhere in the sky. They are describing your state of connection to Source, to who you truly are beyond the noise. Inside the vortex, everything you have ever asked for already exists. Every desire you have ever sent out has been received, organized, and prepared vibrationally. The only reason you do not see it yet is because your focus is tuned to the opposite frequency. You cannot see love while looking at fear. You cannot see abundance while vibrating in lack. The vortex is the alignment point where you and your higher self are standing in the same emotional space. That alignment is what Abraham calls true power. Most people live their lives trying to take action from outside the vortex. They try to fix things with words, plans, and effort. They make lists, they visualize, they say all the right affirmations, but they do it from tension.
Ow.
They are still tuned to what is missing instead of what is already done. From that place, action is exhausting. It drains life force. Abraham often says, "One who is in alignment is more powerful than millions who are not." That is not a metaphor. It means when your energy and your source are in agreement, the universe moves through you without resistance. The doors open on their own. The timing clicks perfectly. People call it coincidence or luck, but it is alignment. Abraham also speaks of selfishness, but not in the way people think. They redefine selfishness as vibrational alignment with self, with the capital S self, that is source energy. When you are selfish enough to care about how you feel, you begin to live differently. You no longer act out of obligation or guilt. You no longer bend to please people who are disconnected from their own alignment. You realize that when you feel good, you become a match to the good you want to see. That is not arrogance. That is resonance. You stop trying to fix others and start maintaining your own frequency. Because from inside your alignment, clarity flows naturally. Abraham says, "If you are not in the vortex, you have nothing to give anyone," and that is truth. You cannot light a candle for someone else while yours is out. People often confuse caring for others with caring others. When you try to make someone happy while you are out of alignment, you are offering resistance disguised as love. True service is energy, not effort. You serve others best by staying connected to your own source, because your energy becomes the permission slip for theirs. That is why the work is internal first. You enter the vortex by caring about how you feel, by reaching for relief, by thinking thoughts that feel a little softer and a little freer. That gentle shift is the gate to the effortless state. Abraham describes the vortex as the holding space of all your becoming. It is the container of every dream, every intention, every version of you that has ever been imagined. Even when you doubt yourself, the vortex does not close. It simply waits for you to match it. Every emotion you feel is feedback about your proximity to that alignment. When you feel irritation, you are far from it. When you feel peace, you are close. Hope is the bridge between them. Hope is the door to the vortex. That is why Abraham teaches that hope is powerful. The moment you feel hope, you have shifted enough to be drawn in. You do not have to climb your way in through control. You only need to stop doing the things that hold you out. It's the worry, the doubt, the comparing, the replaying, the forcing. Those are the blocks. When you relax even slightly, the vortex takes you in. It is the most natural movement in the universe. The only unnatural part is your resistance. Abraham says that when you sleep, you go in automatically, because resistance stops when you are unconscious. But when you wake up, you pick up where you left off. That is why morning alignment is everything. If you wake up and immediately think of what is missing, you tune back out. But if you wake up and choose appreciation before your mind remembers the problems, you stay in the flow. Being in the vortex is not an escape from reality, it's becoming more real than the illusion of struggle. Inside the vortex, clarity replaces confusion. Inspiration replaces effort. You find yourself acting because you are inspired, not because you are desperate. It feels light, obvious, almost playful. That is the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is action from lack. Inspiration is action from connection. That is effortless manifestation. It is not about sitting still and doing nothing. It is about being so aligned that your doing becomes joyful and your results become inevitable. Abraham says the universe has already assembled everything you have asked for. The timing is not about when it will be given, it is about when you will allow yourself to receive it. The gap between asking and receiving is not time, it is resistance. The more you believe, the faster it flows. When you move from worry to trust, things that seemed impossible start showing up as if they were always meant to. They were. You just became a match. So what is the real key to effortless manifestation? It is remembering that you are not here to make creation happen through force. You are here to allow the energy that creates worlds to move through you. You are here to align, to soften, to remember that your peace is power. The universe does not need your control. It only needs your cooperation. When you stop fighting the current, you discover that the current was never against you. It was guiding you. You are not being tested. You are being tuned. Every delay, every moment of contrast, is only showing you where your vibration is asking for adjustment. Abraham teaches that once you learn to tend to your alignment above everything else, life begins to move with a rhythm that feels like magic. Not because you found a trick, but because you finally stopped interrupting what was already flowing to you. So as you move through your day, stop asking, when will it come? Start allowing. Start trusting that what you asked for is already here vibrationally. Feel it first, even before it shows up. That is the secret. That is the frequency of creation. Alignment first, everything else second. When you live from that truth, you no longer chase, you attract. You no longer struggle, you flow. You no longer manifest by effort, but by becoming the vibration of what you desire. That is effortless manifestation. That is the vortex.